China says it will fight to the very end to prevent Taiwan from being declared independent. Speaking at a security meeting in Singapore, China's defence minister said any foreign interference is doomed to failure. He was referring to the United States.
We notice, separate to the US Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin's remarks on the Indo-Pacific strategy, that the strategy is an attempt to build an exclusive, small group in the name of a free and open Indo-Pacific, to hijack countries in our region and to target one specific country. It is a strategy to create confrontation, to contain and encircle others.
Well, let's get more on this and what's being said at the conference. We can go to the BBC's Nick Marsh, who's in Singapore. Nick.
Yeah, yesterday it was the US Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin laying out America's vision for the Indo-Pacific. Today it was China's turn to respond, and as you just heard there, General Wei Fenghe responded with some force. The general message was for other countries to mind their own business. He said China's development was not a threat to others and that it was neither wise nor possible to try to contain it, and that includes the issue of Taiwan. But look, let's get a bit more detailed analysis on this. I'm pleased to say I am joined here by Maya Nawans. She's a senior fellow at the International Institute for Strategic Studies, specialising in China's military. Taiwan really is the hot button issue here. You get the impression that the stakes are higher than ever after hearing these speeches. Is that the impression you get, or is that just part of the theatre of these kinds of events?
I didn't think it was theatre. I think there was a genuine effort by both Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, but also General Wei Fenghe to restate their formal positions when it comes to Taiwan. For Austin, that was particularly important following Biden's statements in Japan with regards to Taiwan, questions around whether the US was abandoning strategic ambiguity. And for General Wei Fenghe, there's also, of course, a domestic audience at home that needs to hear a certain message. So there definitely was an effort to re-emphasize those traditional lines. That being said, of course, the issue of Ukraine, I think, played very heavily on everybody's minds. And whether or not we can compare the cases of Taiwan and Ukraine is a different discussion, but it definitely brought the relevance to the fore as well.
Yeah, Ukraine definitely dividing these two military superpowers, dividing the world. But we did see on Friday a significant meeting between Lloyd Austin and Wei Fenghe, the first of its kind at this top level since 2019. How significant did you read that? Was there a slight thaw in this very icy relationship?
I think the purpose of that meeting, as has been stated in, I think, the phone calls and the face-to-face meetings that we've seen between the two sides, is to really try and build a floor underneath that relationship bilaterally, to have opportunities to pass messages and red lines. And I think it served that purpose to re-engage again after quite a difficult few years between the two countries.
Yeah, difficult few years indeed. Maya Nawans, thank you so much for speaking to us, Senior Fellow at the International Institute for Strategic Studies. So this conference really is wrapping up now. We've heard from the two major military superpowers, still deeply divided on pretty much every issue you can think of. But they did meet and dialogue is happening, something which is ever more crucial given all the issues that this region and the rest of the world is facing at the moment.
All right, Nick, thank you very much indeed, and to your guest as well, Nick Marsh there for us in Singapore.